Hmm. Hello everyone, Sin6 here, and I will be reacting to 3 true scary Walmart horror stories. Now, I've actually had a few odd experiences in Walmart. Not horror related, but more like ironically stupid and basically people just being utter completely fucking morons because, well, being completely fucking retarded because, well, as a matter of fact, I'll just share a few of my own stories with you and you'll know what I mean. But anyway, this is by Mr. Nightmare. I guess he's a cool guy. I've watched some of his stuff, but he's not all that scary, to be honest. So, anyway, let's get into the video. Roll the tape.
My name is Samantha. I'm 20 years old and I work at a Walmart by a small town called Jackson in Alabama. Since I don't go to school full time, my boss would oftentimes put me on an overnight shift, back when the store was open 24 hours a day. Given that it was a super center, there would still be a number of employees working. My shift this one particular night was 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. I was one of only a couple employees doing stock work, and there was 1 or 2 employees at registers up front. Given that our store sits in the countryside of Alabama, we didn't really get much business at these insane hours of the night. However, it was a prime restocking period. I personally know the other employees working that night, but it's not like we'd run into each other in the giant store anyway. I started my night folding pants in the men's department and generally tidying up. I kept headphones in at night because usually there would be no one to tell me to take them out. A customer came to the jeans section, and at that time it was around 11:30 p.m., so it wasn't really that weird. People would still come in and close shop till usually around midnight. The customer came up to me and asked me if he had any more of the specific pants he found in a different waist size. I apologized and told him only whatever was on the rack. He thanked me and walked away. I made accidental eye contact with him as soon as he stood by the rack, put his jeans back. It was kind of awkward. He walked away and I continued with my work. Some time passed and the store started to look like a ghost town. No one could be seen as far as the eye could see. I think it was like 1 a.m. I had made my way over to the appliances section. I was doing a lot of back and forth work with boxes from the back section where we kept all the items that were yet to go out. I brought a wagon full of boxes to one of the aisles and started stocking the shelves.
Well, apparently the weather picked up and now it's gonna rain. Worse than a hooker on a Wednesday night. I fucking hate rainy weather.
Because the shelves were empty, though, I was able to see someone through the next aisle over, and they were watching me. Well, only up until he noticed me notice him. Then he looked away. But his eyes looked really familiar. I stepped closer to get a better view, and I realized it was the same customer from like 2 hours earlier. How in the world could he still be in the store? Without making it obvious, I took the wagon with me and passed the next aisle over just to get a look and see if the man had any items in his hands. His hands were completely empty. No way could he be shopping for 2 hours and not pick up a single thing. Something wasn't right. I quickly finished up restocking the shelf with coffee machines and other appliances, then brought the empty wagon to the back area.
You know, to be honest, I've actually done that before. Like, not to be creepy or anything, but I've done that with several other people because we were trying to look at things that we could buy and give to charity and whatnot. This is back when I was in like maybe ninth grade in my freshman year. We had to do like a charity thing. It was fucking stupid because we had to use our own money. The school wouldn't fund us or anything, and we wouldn't get anything back. It was just, well, I know with charity you're not supposed to get anything back, but I would have liked a little extra credit. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm gonna just give out. Oh, what the hell was that thing? We had to spend at least $150 on the things we get on the things that we bought, and that was school required. You know, it was like mandatory. I gave it to my father. He says, "This is Bullshit. So instead, I just put like $120 in an envelope and I put it in the box and said, you know, give someone some money. There you go. Fuck you. I'm not buying any useless shit. But anyway, roll the tape.
I chilled out in there for a while because, quite frankly, I felt like that guy might have been following or watching me longer than I realized. I played on my phone for a little while in the employee lounge. Then when I figured it was time to get back to work, I decided I would do grocery work instead, just to be in a different part of the store. I went into the dairy cooler and filled a bunch of crates with dairy products like milk and yogurts. This took a lot of time to do because I had to check the dates on the products and such. Over the loud sound of the giant refrigerators keeping the cooler cold, I heard the door to the dairy cooler burst open. There was conveniently a gap in the boxes sitting on one of the pallets that allowed me to peek through it to the door of the cooler. And I shit you not, it was that same customer. I ran to cover under one of the shelves and pushed a big box full of eggs in front of me. I didn't have to worry about making noise because the refrigerators were so loud. For anyone wondering why I decided to hide, well, I already assumed this guy was hanging around the store watching me. Seeing him in the employees only section, never mind that, coming into the dairy cooler, seemingly something bad was definitely about to go down. I hid behind that box with my head down for the longest time, expecting to hear the doors to the cooler open and close eventually.
And this is why
After
I
a
always
while of
keep a
hiding
knife
and
on
not
me.
looking, I assumed maybe he left after.
So for all you girls out there, I suggest keeping a knife, some pepper spray, a taser, and at least a nice little shiv with you. I mean, just in case the knife gets knocked out of your hand, you can still stab him in the shoulder or maybe at the base of the back, you know, just to get away.
Looking for me.
Excuse me.
I lifted my head from my arms for the first time and looked up in front of the box and screamed. He was right there, smiling at me, standing over the box. But his smile vanished as soon as I started to scream. He tried putting his hand on my lips to muffle my scream, but I didn't allow that to go any further. I pushed the box of eggs over, right into him, and the eggs falling to the floor made him step back looking down at his shoes. I ran right past him, but he didn't grab me, so I continued to run till I found another stock worker and told him to tip me. The employee's name was Bob, I remember from his name tag. Suddenly, a man from the dairy cooler came up to the two of us and apologized, explaining that he was from corporate and was coming to make sure everything was run smoothly. He said he didn't mean to scare me and was simply checking up on me in the dairy cooler to make sure I wasn't slacking off. This Bob seemed to believe it all, but then again, he didn't seem very smart at all. I asked the man why he put his hand on my mouth, and he said he was trying to avoid making a scene. Then, shockingly, he gave me the order to finish up the appliance section, and he disappeared. As he was speed walking away down the aisle, I called out, "What's your name?" And he called back, "Tom." And just like that, he was gone.
Jesus.
The next day, I called one of the managers and asked if there was supposed to be a visit from corporate the night before, and if a creepy man named Tom sounded familiar. My manager, Margaret, said it sounded like complete bullshit. There was no record of anyone from corporate named Tom who was supposed to come visit, nor would anyone from corporate ever be in the store at 2 a.m. They then went ahead and checked the camera footage, and a police report was filed when they realized this was a random man, and the cameras proved this man had been stalking me between the aisles for the better part of the first few hours of my shift. I told Margaret I couldn't do night shifts anymore after that, and she understood. I still work there, but more so as a day stock person or a cashier.
Good for you.
What's one place you go to and the weirdest, freakiest creatures in our society? I
Walmart.
swear I've never been to a single Walmart where I didn't see at least one eye-catchingly strange human being.
I swear, Walmarts are just the petting zoos for the most rambunctious, redneck, fucking inbred, whatever kind of whack job motherfuckers. They just go there to grab food. You can see someone with a fucking giant ass bulgy eye. Fuck. I think the weirdest thing I've seen was I shit you not a I believe she said she was 800 pounds and she was on two mopeds. You know those rascal scooters. She was on two of them because her body was so big. Still, her ass would just flop right off to the sides. It was just fucking gross. Ugh. Yeah, I swear this woman had just. Yeah, fuck that shit.
Strange does not even cut it for what I'm about to tell you. It was a Thursday before Black Friday. My
Okay.
Walmart was open extra late. I was in there at 11 o'clock looking for a new laptop. By chance, I picked up off the shelf the last one that was being promoted for a really good Black Friday deal. As I grabbed it though, some big, revolting, dirty-looking guy comes up to me and insists he needs a laptop very badly. I nervously said I'm sorry, it's the last one. Then he got angry and started making a bit of a scene. The man clearly wasn't normal, and my heart started racing simply because I don't get put on guard in these kinds of situations a lot. As others looked on at the commotion this big guy was making, I walked away with the laptop box quickly and went straight to a line. He kept yelling at me as I walked away. It was unbelievable. Some other customers on the line even tried to laugh with me and make me feel better, saying the guy was a nut. So, I get home. My family's all asleep already. I go outside to sit in the yard by the pool and set up my new laptop. Then the light on the side of the house turned on. The one that turns on due to movement. I went to check the side of the house to make sure no one was there. Would that thing go off once in a while? Yeah, but there's a small patch of woods right next to the house, so animals would often run on the property, triggering it. Either way, I'm kind of a big pussy, so I went inside, locked the door, and finished setting up my laptop in the living room. A car alarm suddenly started going off outside. I recognized it to be my Cadillac. I looked out the window to confirm this. I ran to get my keys upstairs, then tried pressing the panic button to turn off the alarm. It didn't work from the inside, so I stepped out to the porch and clicked it off. But then I noticed a car parked in front of our house that wasn't there earlier when I got home. And any cars parked in the street on our block was suspicious enough. We live in a closed-off community, and everyone has huge driveways. I stepped down from the stoop and realized there was someone sitting in that car. I went back inside and locked the door. I went to my mom's room and told her I think someone outside means us harm. My mom and dad have a complicated situation, so my dad doesn't always stay with us. It would have been a different story having my dad there to tell about this. My mom came downstairs with me, noticeably worried based on what I told her. My mom took a look through the peephole in the front door, then gasped and put her hands over her mouth. I looked through it as well, and felt ready to throw up when I saw a huge man standing on the other side of the door on our stoop. I whispered to my mom, I think that man followed me from Walmart. Suddenly, the doorknob started to turn as the man tried opening the door. But it didn't work. He started pounding on the door. That's when my mom let out a gasp and cry, and my younger sister came out from her room, who also started to panic when becoming wise to the situation. The pounding stopped. Then there was a silence for a while, other than my mom's voice on the phone with police. A few minutes went by. My mom's still on the line with 911 with.
You know, I can understand being frustrated and shit because you got a family that wants everything and blah blah blah, or you want a certain thing because you've been looking forward to it. It's Black Friday. Things are, all items are a bit cheaper and shit. Motherfucker, a laptop ain't fucking worth it. I mean, seriously. Just saying.
Police en route, and there was a loud bang and crash downstairs in the den.
Oh, fuck.
A window shattered. My mom and sister both screamed and cried. I told them to run upstairs
Grab
while
a
I locked the
fucking
door
knife,
to the
dude.
den.
Grab a gun.
I waited down there, expecting an attempt at the door or a bang. Nothing. Surprisingly, I heard a police car briefly wail its siren outside my house. It was the quickest response time I'd ever heard of. I ran outside to lead them to the den where the broken glass was. There, they found the huge, dirty, crazy-looking man hiding behind one of our couches. He was arrested at once, and we pressed charges. All the while, he was screaming profanities and threats at me, not helping his case. Both cops told me the guy seemed unstable and on some kind of drugs, but told us to get a good night's rest because he wouldn't be bothering us again. So while it may be fun to people watch at Walmart and laugh at some of the goofy things you see, realize you may also find some ridiculous people in our society in your local Walmart.
Yeah, I got a few relatives that work at Walmart. Ugh. They know how to handle themselves, though. Jesus fucking Christ. Alright, well, told y'all I'd give y'all my story, so referring back to that 800-pound woman using the two scooters to carry her fat lard ass through the fucking aisles. Okay, so it's around Valentine's Day and shit, and I have a friend who doesn't get anything for Valentine's Day. She's always depressed around this time. So I'm like, you know what? Just get her like a card, some chocolates, and maybe a few flowers. Just to cheer her up, right? I find these chocolates that have the cherry cream or whatever the fuck's inside them. I'm like, all right, I'll get two of these, and I just gotta find the card and flowers. So I do. I find the card and I find the flowers. Lord and behold, I noticed someone following me. It was this old lady who looked like she was in her 50s or mid 60s. She was old and just fucking huge. She's like, hey, hey. I turn around behind me, I'm like, what? Give me those chocolates. Why? I want them. This bitch had been smoking for years, and she didn't have a hole in her throat, but her voice was raspy as fuck. Like, sorry, not gonna happen. These are for a friend, so maybe you try your luck with some other ones. I've been looking for those for 2 hours. Give them to me. Holy fucking shit. She's like just bitching and moaning, and she's just saying, I want those, give them here. So I'm like, I'm just gonna check these out, and then I'm gonna go out to the parking lot. So yeah, fuck you, bitch. I'm out. Well, she didn't like that, so she tried running me over with those damn scooters. Holy fucking shit. I'm surprised they actually ran that fast with her fucking heifer ass on there. Well, she managed to snag one of the boxes from me and she tries running off. All I had to do was lightly jog and snatch it out of her hands. So I go up to the line, I tell the clerk at the register, I got this old lady following me, can we hurry this up? He goes, yeah. He scans all the items as quick as he can. I give him the cash, I tell him keep the change, and I just walk off. This old lady's like just hovering like, oh, get over here. She falls flat on her face, no joke, and then she starts crawling because she's fucking lost her goddamn mind over these fucking chocolates. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, bitch, would you just drop it? Well, that wasn't the end of that. Apparently, this woman had kids and a husband, and they were just in the technology aisle getting their kids their PS4s. Fucking 4 boxes. Holy shit, they must be loaded. Fucking welfare came in, boy. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, the husband looks at me and goes, what the hell did you do to my wife? The fuck is wrong with you, boy?
I want the chocolates. Give me the chocolates.
Holy fucking shit, I had to run. I threw everything in the back of the truck, told my buddy to fucking move. I swear to God, these fuckers must have been inbred because this fucking kid had hands that are like this. They're just like fused together and shit. And one kid had fucking crooked ass teeth, so he's looking like. Jesus. Yeah. And I believe that was the Walmart over in. I believe it was. Where the fuck? When the hell was this? Oh, shit. Oh, yeah. It was the time I went to the cities because I had some family stuff to take care of up there. And so it was nearly Valentine's Day. I said, before I leave, I want to get a few things. And, well, that's when it happened. Oh, Lord. Even in the cities, you find the craziest fucking people. Oh. I'm lucky I didn't have to worry about no goddamn drive-by. Fuck. So, for any of you out there, don't sweat it. There's always more. Jesus. And if any of you guys are like obsessed with it, or obsessed with anything, or pissed up because someone got the last item, don't worry. There's always next year, or there's going to be some in a few weeks. Jesus. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, favorite, share with your friends. As always, I will see you all in the next video. And take my advice. If you have someone stalking you in the store, be sure to find the sharpest item you can find that's not contained in fucking plastic. Keep it on you at all times, and in case that fucker tries to do anything to you, stab him in the fucking leg. Peace out, everyone. Good night.